Jack, what have you learned about the Florida-Rosedale rivalry?
Yeah, obviously, it's a big deal to people around here. Like, I didn't grow up in Big Ten country, so it's kind of all new to me. But I'm definitely getting on board with it, getting on, like, see how much it means to my teammates and the coaches and the community here. So it's definitely something that's exciting. I think it's really cool playing for trophies, like big rivalry games, trophy games. That's super exciting. And I mean, that's something, yeah, I'm looking forward to.
What was your reaction when I heard the trophy's a bronze pig?
Yeah, and you're saying it's like 80 something pounds. It's crazy. I mean, it's super cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's just really cool to have these rivalry games that mean a little bit more.
Do you have anything like that down in Texas, in college or high school?
Well, I mean, definitely. Like, I grew up a Longhorn fan, so like playing whenever they were A&M was still in the Big 12 that game, and then the Red River rivalry was always like super cool games that I always wanted to play in. So it's cool to play in something like that.
What have you taken from Mariano as you guys have played next to each other?
Yeah, I definitely love playing with him. He plays incredibly hard. I mean, anybody who watches the games can see that he flies to the ball. I mean, taking no plays off. And I think we have a lot in common as far as like both kind of smart players, like to kind of get in, watch a lot of film, diagnose like things. And we do a lot of that together and kind of just bouncing ideas off each other, learning from each other, talking about what the other team's trying to do. And yeah, I really like playing with him. It's a blast.
Do you feel like there was a little bit of a zone that you might have got in that Illinois game? It seemed like there was a stretch where, and every play you were making.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of, I guess, just kind of the way the game rolled that the plays ended up coming to me. But I think just kind of as a defense, we after those first two drives, we kind of put our foot in the ground and said enough's enough. And all the credit to Illinois, they came out and they out physicaled us on those first two drives and kind of ran it right down the field on us. And we kind of had to make a decision to kind of try to put a stop to it. So.
When that happens, who's the one that kind of is the catalyst to put the foot in the ground, like you said? Is it players?
Yeah, I would say definitely. I mean, obviously the coaches are talking to us, but I think we have a lot of great leadership on the defense with a lot of older guys, just all kind of sharing that load. Like, we've got a lot of guys who've played a lot of snaps and are really invested and really passionate players, and so I think we kind of just took it upon ourselves to say, oh, yeah, this isn't going right. We need to make a change.
What do you see out of Iowa's offense?
Yeah, they're really athletic up front, and they run those. I mean, they run stretch better than anyone else in the country probably, because those guys can run and they get movement, and their backs are really fast and get downhill. They got a really good running game, and it's something that last week I think is going to kind of help prepare us for a little bit, because Illinois was really good up front, ran stretch really well, but yeah, definitely watching these guys, it's different and something we got to be ready for.
Their center, Tyler Linderbaum, what impresses you about him?
Yeah, he's super talented. Has really good feet, and he can really move for a big guy. And it's really impressive to watch him get bucket step and run on those stretches and reach people. He's a really talented athlete for sure.
And Coach Rossi talks about details and the attention to them. How finite are those details? How minute does it get?
I mean, it's as detailed as it gets. That's something like when we get our playbooks, it's like everything from like everything, where you're standing, how you're standing, where you're going, everything. I mean, yeah, he coaches everything, and that's something that I think our coaches do a really good job of. Is they don't just coach like this is where you fit and this is your job, but they coach this is how we want you to fit there, and this is how we want you to place your hands on the blocker, and this is what we want you to do pre and post snap. Every phase of it, they're coaching it, and I think that's definitely something that's helped me grow a lot as a player, and it definitely helps develop young guys along for sure.
Jack, what's maybe the biggest challenge of trying to prepare for two quarterbacks? Their starter is a little dinged up and I think he got benched against in their last game, and their backup did pretty well. So how do you prepare for both of them?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of focus on us a little bit, but we do have to have a plan for two different guys. It's definitely we've had some games where we got to prepare for two different quarterbacks that have completely different skill sets, different offenses they run. Like Northwestern, we had to prepare for two different guys, one that could run a lot, one they wanted to sit in the pocket and throw a little bit more. These guys do a little bit more of the same thing, but it's definitely something that you got to be aware of, and you got to keep track of who's in the game, and we'll have a plan for both guys for sure. So yeah, definitely got to prepare for everything.
Is there a way that you could put an identity on the D-line? Is there a way that you would kind of describe them or how they play?
Yeah, I mean those guys are all how all the time. They play really hard. They're really physical and they're really selfless. I mean, they want to be making plays. They want to be getting sacks, but a lot of times their job is sitting there and holding down the double team so we can fit the gaps and stuff. So those guys are really selfless and they play really hard and they're really physical. And I love playing with them. And I love whenever we get teams in third and long and they get a chance to go rush because they're really talented and then they get to have a little fun after kind of eating up double teams for their first 2 downs.
How do you maybe give thanks for them keeping you clean?
Yeah, just I mean, continuing to acknowledge that what they're doing is making the plays. I mean, telling them every time I make a tackle, it's because they were taking on a block. So make sure that after every play, I'm not just celebrating by myself, but if I make a play, I'm telling them, hey, you made that play for me, and making sure to let them know that we know, like we notice what they're doing and how big of an impact it's making.
Any more for Jack?
Coach Fleck, basically want you guys on the even keel. But do you sense heightened intensity this week just because of the rivalry?
Yeah, I think also coming off a week where we didn't play to our standard and we didn't get what we wanted, that also kind of, I mean, we know we got to play better, and so there's a little bit more of a sense of urgency from that as well. But I think, I mean, the rivalry game might tie into that a little bit, but I think it's more just trying to change our best and not let what happened last week happen again and improve from there.
All right. Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, guys.